It didn't start with evolution.
If you want to be saved today, He can save you from your sin.
Jesus loves sinners! Jesus loves sinners!
Three religious demonstrators stationed themselves on Shippensburg University's academic quad October 24th to share their self-described Christian beliefs with students. Mike Stockwell of Cross Country Evangelism, Sean Holes of Luke 10:2 Ministries, and Don Carnes of Appalachia Cry Ministries all stood in front of the Ezra Memorial Library preaching what they believed to be the gospel. However, a large crowd of students formed to refute their beliefs. Some shouted back at the demonstrators, while others calmly tried to change their minds. This isn't new. Stockwell and his companions visited Shippensburg last year to bring a similar message to campus. Stockwell discussed his beliefs and what he hopes his visit meant to Shippensburg University.
We're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. We're preaching about how Jesus is the only way to salvation. The only way for forgiveness of sin is through the precious blood of the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world, Jesus Christ. We're hoping that some of the students will be saved and that the Lord will open their hearts like He did Lydia and give them eternal life through Christ. We're out here because of the love of Christ who compels us to come out here and to preach His word. We're praying that God will use this time to save people, that He will change hearts and give them a new heart with new desires.
Senior Tatiana Purnell debated evolution with Stockwell for a few minutes. A short amount of time later, Purnell stole Stockwell's sign that read, quote, "Evolution is a lie," unquote, and threw it in a nearby trash can.
I felt like that was a sign from God saying I need to take that sign and throw it in the trash can. I've taken a whole course on evolution. I know all the ins and outs of the science of evolution, and I really hate when people spread misinformation just based off of subjective opinions and beliefs. We all have those. We all have our own opinions. We all have our own beliefs, and that's perfectly fine. But to try to spread that and subject that onto other people is dangerous. It can be a dangerous thing.
Several other students reacted to the demonstrators.
Jesus
Yes, He does. Did Jesus love racists, ma'am?
Jesus loves
Did Jesus love white supremacists, ma'am? Yes, He does, don't you? I'll tell you guys this. You love sin.
Just be a good person. Love everyone.
There are a lot of people out there really supporting all of the different communities that we have on campus, and it's nice to know that there is that support here.
SU Political Science Professor Allison Dagnes explained the purpose of higher learning as it relates to these demonstrators.
People who are fervent adherents to any kind of belief system frequently don't want to discuss. They want to lecture and hector and harangue and yell at people. And this isn't necessarily just about religion, it's really about anything. And so it is problematic because on a university campus, what we are really trying to emphasize among our students is not a my way or the highway, there's one truth and that is all, but instead a dialogue and a discussion and a debate about ideas. And that's really what higher learning is all about. We are not here just to say, you have to believe this. In fact, quite the contrary, most of my colleagues and I feel very strongly that we want to proffer up some ideas and also encourage debate and dissent and thoughtful dialogue among our students. And so this falls in the face of that.
United Campus Ministry Reverend Jen Bai agreed with Dagnes that the demonstrators are, quote, problematic, unquote.
I think they believe what they're doing is right. I don't doubt their sincerity. I think how they go about it is problematic, and because of their instigating conflict and by calling people names and telling them they're going to burn in hell, and they have the one true only answer, and if you don't agree with them, you're doomed for all eternity. I find them problematic as well, because as I experience Christianity, it's a relational. It's a relational with God and with one another, and just pot-shotting through wherever and yelling and screaming people, I don't think conveys that at all. I also have seen, and I don't know if these folks do it, but other folks over the years, they come, they incite people, students get obnoxious back at them, and they video that, and then they take the video back to their supporters and say, see, here are all these heathen college students, give us money so we can continue to try bringing Jesus. Actually, this year was much quieter. Last year was a lot more problematic, because students were actually throwing, and it may have not been this group, it may have been another one, but were throwing things at that person. And they had to be escorted off by security, and that was problematic.
Junior Shirley Shower shared what she thought of the student reaction to the demonstrators this year.
A lot of people were like, oh, I want to go punch that guy in the face, like, I want to beat this guy up, we should bust down this barrier. Like, that's not the way to go about handling people that we don't like, and especially groups like that. Attacking them doesn't do anything. It doesn't prove any points. It makes you and the side that you're fighting for look aggressive and violent, and that's not how you win anything. Like, that's not how you get your point across.
Students who are Christian, who are always, and there are always lots that are really upset by this, I always say to them, this is your opportunity to talk about your faith in a way that is different from these people. Because people are going to be talking about faith more than any other time after these kind of people are here. And you can say, instead of being embarrassed, say, well, I'm a Christian and I don't believe this, or I don't practice my faith this way. There are certainly alternatives to what these people are showing.
I think that professors can benefit and our students can benefit the most, because what we can do is use this as a jumping off point to have discussions about our similarities and our differences. It's really important to be empathetic and also see value in different people with different ideas and beliefs, and folks from different backgrounds with different experiences. We're in this spot today when the volume is turned up really high, and people are fighting for attention on social media, or, on just their own different platforms. We see it with politicians. I'm a political scientist, so we see it with politicians in the news media. We see it with entertainers in different forms of fun. But when everybody's yelling at the same time, it makes it really hard for us to hear amidst all of that screaming. And so I think that this happened at a point in our broader culture, which involves so much more than politics, but politics too, where people are exhausted. They're tired of all the screaming, they're tired of being yelled at, they're tired of being told that they're wrong. And I really think we need to get away from this kind of narrative, because when we can just relax a little bit, maybe lower the volume, and see that if we disagree with one another, that doesn't make us enemies, I think we're more likely to maybe find some compromise and solve some problems that really do need to be solved. Life is never a winner-take-all endeavor, and as all of us, students and faculty and staff, kind of walk through the world, you can't have everything at once. Where would you put it? But even more than that, you can't win constantly, and so we have to learn how to lose gracefully, but also how to find compromise so that it's not anymore about winning and losing. It's just about making things possible in the moment.
You need to honor other people's journeys. It may not be your own, and you can talk about your perspective and their perspective, but we're all trying to do the best we can to follow Christ in the best way we know how.
We have different beliefs and we have different values and different attitudes, but we still have a lot more in common than we do differences. And if we can just kind of get to that common ground, we can see that we may vote for different parties, we may have different hobbies, we may enjoy different pop culture, but we still have a lot in common. And the best thing that we have in common is that we're all here at SHIP together. And being part of this family is as important for our development as anything else is.
Both Dagnas and Bai agreed with the sentiment expressed by Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. during his 1967 Beyond Vietnam speech at Riverside Church in New York City.
Here is a true meaning and value of compassion and nonviolence when it helps us to see the enemy's point of view, to hear his questions, to know his assessment of ourselves. For from his view, we may indeed see the basic weaknesses of our own condition. If we are mature, we may learn and grow and profit from the wisdom of the brothers who are called the opposition.
This is Jonathan Bergmuller for The Slate.